It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to Sports Orbit, first edition of the day. My name is Afa Acho. Salifu Usman is right here at me. Salifu, welcome to the very first edition of Sports Orbit.
In the week, for
For the week.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
my co-travelers and my regular host.
All right. Today is a big day for the Super Falcons. Recall that the African Women Cup of Nations kicked off in Morocco on Saturday, but Super Falcons will be in action for the first time today as they take on long-time rivals, South Africa. That's talking about the Banyana of South Africa. Recall that the South Africans are fully motivated, fully pumped up to ensure that they dethrone the Super Falcons and prevent them from winning a 10th record-breaking title this time around. But thankfully enough, their first match is against the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And I mean, this is an encounter that everyone is looking forward to, because even going by predictions and from most analysts, these are the two teams who have been tipped to win this trophy. So this is more like a final before the final. So it's kicking off today, 6 p.m. Nigerian time.
Yeah, Alpha, you are very correct. And in whatever call the name you tag this match, you will not be wrong. Just like they call it a Titanic class, or whatever name you call it. That is because this is the best of African teams when it comes to female football. And just like you said, it's rightly say that is just a final before the final, and the two sides have a whole lot to play for today. And just like you said earlier, the South African authorities have fully motivated the players of the South African girls to ensure that if there's anything they want to achieve this year, just beat Nigeria and ensure that they win the trophy for the first time, because Nigeria severally have denied them opportunities. While Nigerians have accounted for 9 times of the titles, South Africa are yet to record a single title despite their effectiveness in the women's football in Africa. And like over there, if you look at the class between the two sides, Nigerians have dominated the proceeding. But you can agree that from recent time, the gap has begun to close, and now the South Africans now you can never confidently see if the two sides who is going to win. Unlike before, you can easily predict that Nigeria is going to win them, but now you cannot easily predict that Nigeria is going to win this match. So it's going to be a tough of the clash and a Titanic clash. To me, this is one of the best advertised for African women football, and for CAF, I think CAF will be able to cash in on this.
Right, a brief history of how these teams have fared initially. Nigeria won the first 5 games between these teams from their first meeting in 2000, which was a 2-0 win that claimed the Super Falcons their second ever AFCON title. 2 years later, Nigeria also trounced South Africa 5-0, followed by another 2-0 win in 2006, a 1-0 win in 2008, and a 2-1 win in 2010. The South Africans won the Super Falcons for the first time in played a draw. That was the first time they were drawing the Super Falcons in 2012. 2 draws in 2 consecutive friendly games, which ended 1-1 and also 2-2 respectively. Later, the Banyana will clinch their first win against Nigeria in the 2012 World Cup semi-final, beating the Falcons 1-0. 2 years later, in 2014, they met again in the semi-finals, but Nigeria won that one 2-1 through, and Oshoala braced in that one. Nigeria then also won again with another semi-final defeat to Banyana in 2016, which was 1-0. Met also again in 2018, while Nigeria also won twice in that year. Then South Africa won 1-0 in the group stages in 2018, but Super Falcons won when it mattered most. Their paths crossed again in the final, and although regulation time needed, Nigeria won on penalty to seal the ninth WAFCON crown. The most recent meeting between them was in September 2021 during the Aisha Buhari Invitational Tournament, where the South Africans defeated the Super Falcons 4-2 in that one. So looking at these two sides, there's been a long history, long rival. I mean, the way it looks in women football in Africa now, this is like the biggest rivalry, like what you have between, for instance, in Nigeria or in Ghana or Cameroon. In women's football, is actually Nigeria, South Africa. Do you see South Africa actually upsetting Nigeria? Because what they're after this time around is to lay their hands on the trophy that Nigerians have made like a personal property. But the South Africans are hoping this time around we are going to get the job done against the Super Falcons.
Actually, if you look at the history of the clash between the two sides, you read that, you read it, you highlighted, you look it vividly from the first meeting 2000 up to the 22 up to the 2012, where they have about 6 match plays. Nigeria won 5, South Africa taking 1. Then from there on, in total, the two teams has played 13 matches. Out of the 13 matches, Nigeria has won 7 times. South Africa have won it 3 times, and 3 of the match have been drawn. And in the recent history, and if you look at it as after, even like before, if South Africa beat Nigeria, we say it's an upset. But now, if South Africa win to this match, God forbid, because I want to say that as Nigeria, if South Africa win to this match, nobody will tag as an upset anymore, because South Africa have come of age almost apart with Nigeria. For instance, in the last 10 years to up to this level, if you watch it based on the history you analyze it, you clearly show that Nigeria always won 2 matches between these two sides. Only won two matches. While South Africa have won 3 times and draw 3 times. And at the same time, in the last 5 matches between these two sides, Nigeria didn't win any single match on regulation time. It takes penalty to win 2 matches. While South Africa have won 1 and also draw. So it clearly, and then the ultimately, lastly, because they say you are as good as your last result. So the last match in Lagos at our home here happened for the first time. South Africa come early from South Africa. South Africa lady came to Lagos, not ordinary city in Nigeria, but in Lagos for that matter, and won away with 4-2 victory in the final of Aisha Invitational Tournament. So South Africa is clearly show that they believe that they have all it takes to beat Nigeria. They are no longer seeing Nigeria as a powerhouse when it comes to women football. They are no longer seeing Nigeria as a superior to them. Although by record standard, Nigeria still have upper hand against them. But today's match is left for the two coaches. Randy Rondon have played South Africa, and the first match he played against South Africa was a defeat, 4-2. So I don't know whether the American will allow the second defeat against South Africa today. That's another different game. And at the same time, the South African lady in South Africa, which is their coach, also achieved the biggest result when none of his counterparts, none of his colleagues, none of his predecessors have achieved against the Super Falcons. So he came with his girl to Nigeria and get to 4-2 victory. Now they are playing on a neutral ground in Morocco, Rabat precisely. So he believed that he has all to take to beat Nigeria. And if they must, just based on the promise they have promised their government, and based on the motivation that I've shown to them so far, if they must win this AFCON, they have to start with Nigeria by beating Nigeria today. But it's going to be a very titanic two-side clash for the two sides. I think even lovers of football, even those who are not a fan of women football, would like to see what will happen this evening.
All right. So, like I said earlier, that match will come up at 6 p.m. Nigerian time, and a lot of Nigerians will be looking forward to that one. We right here on Sports Orbit will be watching that match, and tomorrow we'll give you a complete review of all that went down. At this point, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that short break. Now on to our next story. That's talking about a UFC where Sports Minister Sunday Dare and Chairman of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, W. Erewa Piquet, has congratulated Israel Adesanya on the successful defense of his UFC title in Las Vegas against Jared Cannonier. That was on early hours of yesterday, actually, to retain his UFC middleweight title. This will be the fifth time Israel, popularly called Easy, will be successfully defending his UFC title for the fifth time. Has been undefeated all this while, and I mean, this young man has done Nigeria proud when it comes to this division. Clearly, outclasses everyone. Different champions have come to confront him, but time and time again, he has been able to overcome all of them.
Well, it's just that I don't know what is the procedures and the rule that in the kickboxing. Even I would understand the word body that they should just rule out that let him just hold that title permanently. Nobody should fight for him.
No, there are categories in, just like you said.
What?
No, at a point he stepped out a category, but he was defeated, so he came back. So this is the middleweight.
So, but it appears that this category is undisputable.
Yeah.
Nobody should challenge him again. They should just leave it and let him just hold on to the belt.
And same for the other middle featherweight title, Kamaru Usman has also dominated in that field.
Dominated the category. So it's good that they do. It's good that they are two these Nigerians have done the country proud, and thing like Additionally, I've gone 12 undefeated, or 12 times, and 12 times in this category, and I've not been defeated. So that is a good one, and we also join the Honorable Minister of Food and Sport, as well as the chairperson of the Diaspora Commissions. We also congratulate the young man for doing the country proud, and he should keep it up. So wish him that, yes, he has dominated this category. So our prayer that he should be able to the last time he tried, he couldn't succeed, but this time we believe that he should step up, and let's see what the future holds for him. Yeah, so
right.
It's still you need to step up.
Yeah. All right. Away from that to the MPFL, where the Kwara State Football Association has confirmed that the LMC has given it the go ahead to resume playing their games right there in the Ilorin Stadium. Recall that stadium, the LMC had to come down hard, on that stadium after crowd trouble. There's some incidents of crowd trouble there leading to the partial closure of the stadium. But I think LMC are giving them the go-ahead, provided that such incidences will not occur again with this reopening. But time and time again, we see situations where a stadium is given a ban, they resume. Just like the case of, I think, Canopilas, so I can't remember, the stadium was banned. In fact, the first day they opened the stadium, another crowd trouble happened again. So hope Kwara United has assured the LMC that yes, they will be able to control their fans this time around.
Well, just like you have said it all, and I hope that the Kwara United and the Kwara fan, the Northern football fans will be able to heed to this advice. Because a situation, football is an entertaining game, and when you come to sit down to enjoy yourself, and at the end of the some people somewhere will be turn to become aggressive. Yeah, if you are going for a football match, you expected three things to happen: either you lose, you draw the game, or you win.
Yeah.
That's the three possible results that may happen at the end of the day. So all the energy you have instead of you to go violence against the opponent, the visiting team, or the go violence against the officials, all you just put all the motivation and encourage your players and put all the support, give all your support, all the necessary support to win their match. So there's no even need go aggression against the opponent when you lose or when you draw a match. So and I hope they have learned from this lesson by denying them opportunity to watch their darling team for some matches now. Probably going forward they'll be able to hit to that, but and get them think that we don't have to give total approval. They just give them just a window to
Yeah, exactly.
just to see either they will be able to control their fans and the fans will be able to heed to the advice. And let's what we got. After if you see what happened in Nigeria football, I think we still need a whole lot of things to learn. How to watch game and how to comfort yourself to prepare yourself when you are a fan or you are watching the football game. At the weekend, I was out in football, a grassroots, at the grassroots venue of the football match, a nationwide league, a third division match for that matter, between the Foslas Academy, Fosla FC of Karushi, and Police Machine of Nyanya. In fact, I was a big disappointed with what I saw. And what baffled me most that the ground was a police ground. You can imagine you be at a police home and you are not safe at the police home. Then where will you be safe? To the extent, even the policemen, this is a police team, and the policemen who turn for fans will all become aggressive against a visiting team, aggressive officials. Despite winning the match at 1-0, they were still not comfortable. I'm talking about the police officers who are fans of the police team. Want to attack the player. I think generally we need to school ourselves and we need to educate ourselves on how to watch a beautiful game. Football is an different entertainment, and we need to accept the way the result comes, either good or bad.
Completely. I mean, we've had so many incidences of crowd trouble, even just like Charlie said, in grassroots football game that really not too much is even at stake. You know, and you see these issues happening. Away from that now quickly to, well, it started last week like a rumor initially where it was being muted that CAF had plans of actually postponing the 2023 AFCON, but over the weekend it was actually confirmed that the 2023 AFCON has been postponed to January 2024. Recall that CAF had initially complained about the weather situations in Africa, in most parts of Africa around that time of the year, and in their own wisdom have seen that they need to, postpone the championship to 2024. Salifu, what do you make of this decision?
Well, I just like you said last week when it was rumor, and now it has finally been confirmed. Africa, and I believe this is going to come with a whole lot of backlash because a lot of people started kicking against the postponement. But just like the CAF said, they have no choice. This is their prime tournament, and this is their topmost tournament, and they need not to in the words of the Patrick Musebe. He said this is a prime tournament, and they need no one to joke about it, to mess it up. And if the topography and the weather conditions and the rainy system in Africa is not favorable to the June idea, so they have no choice than to postpone it. But as is always the case, it always affect the programs of the other football leagues.
I was even about to make that point.
African players are always.
In fact, CAF even had to readjust the calendar to fit in so that AFCON will always be played in a year that won't be a World Cup year.
Yes.
So that's why we are playing in 2023. But now, remember that the one period AFCON had to be played back to back. Just to ensure.
That was 2012 and 2013.
Exactly. So looking at what's going to happen now, I think it will be a similar situation because next World Cup is 2026. So if you're going to stick to that 2-year gap, 24, you need to play 26. But this time, I see a situation where they'll have to play the next CAF in 2025.
Now we are back to the old arrangement, just like you rightly say. World Cup, Africa Cup of Nations was always played in the World Cup year. until they come with the idea, no, we need to give a rest period for the African team who are going for the World Cup to prepare well. And that's why they moved the idea. And because like it was played back to back, that we hold the last African Cup of Nations in 2012 in Gabon. And then the year after, another one was hosted in 2013 in South Africa. Just to alter that time, so that Africa, you alter the within the World Cup year to alter it. And now, from last year, because of the COVID, no time to the COVID, and at the same time, not time to be, you have to play the last World Cup, last year Africa Cup of Nations in this year, which is a World Cup year already, and to repass back to the normal time to play the next one next year, 2023. Now, because of the environment and the rain system in Africa. Now CAF has now appointed the ideas of postponing it to January next year. And if you play next year January, there's guarantee that ultimately the next edition, which is supposed to be 2025, can also be moved to 2026. And gradually we are moving back to where we are coming from. And at the same time, even the Africa team players who play for the league season, who play in a club in Europe, January is always the peak of the league season, and this is the time you are asking the club to release their player to come and play for the national team. So that is how African countries is always at a crosshead with the club in Europe and the African team, and at the same time it also affects the marketing values of the African player, because like Arsene Wenger during his day as Arsenal coach always saying there, well, African players are fantastic, but the only challenge that every 2 years they have to go to their country to go and play African Cup of Nations, and thereby alter your schedule and your program. So every coach who is going for African play, no matter how fantastic you are, they always have this thing at the back of their mind that you should have it that by January at the peak of the time where you needed them most, they have to leave to go and play for their country. So Africa will need to find a middle ground, a possible thing. But in the 21st century, Africa will even need to complain about the rainy system affecting the football, because the modern style of the developing pitch or field should not even where you still complain about that rain affect the football.
Exactly.
Africa will need to learn and move up. We can't continue to live in the 19th century. We are in the 21st century in the technology eras. So we have to adopt the new technology that the pitch can be developed. Even the way, no matter how heavy the weight of the rain, football can still be allowed to go on.
All right, away from that now to some transfer news where, this is transfer season, so a lot of rumors flying all over the place. In fact, these days, once I go through my phone, I have to keep refreshing my Twitter feed because every minute there's always one rumor or the other crazy things flying around. But here, Bayern Munich said to be interested in bringing Osimhen to the Alliance Arena because Lewandowski looks certain to leave this summer, and they'll need a replacement for him, notwithstanding that they've already have Sadio Mane on their books. But, well, from rumors circling around so far, looks like they might be looking to make a move for Osimhen.
Well, that is as a Nigerian, that is a good one. If it happens. But I see that is going to happen. But my own surprise that to play the price tag of 120, I don't think Bayern Munich. I'm not saying Osimhen is worthy. It's not worthy of 120.
But Bayern can.
It's worthy. I don't think that Bayern Munich will play.
This transfer season, if you notice how a lot of clubs are dealing, no club is ready to pay big money for any player. Everybody's just trying to manage the situation. Exactly. So any player, exactly. So any player you are putting for above 80 this time, it will be very, very difficult because people are not just ready to spend money this time around.
Yeah, well, Osimhen is one of the if you look at Osimhen, it's one of the fantastic strikers.
No doubt about that.
At the same time, every coach and every who watch him know that he has a very biggest times ahead of him. He has a great potential to develop. And looking at this season, despite the injury situation, he has played out of 15 matches, scored 24 goals, 8 assists, clearly show that that's an average of 1 goal per 2 games. And his striker with such potential clearly show that every club will be willing or be wanted to have him in their spot. And just like if you look around, the striker Lewandowski is leaving to Barcelona, and if you look around the world, the strikers who are they likely going to look for as a replacement? So they will always think of people like Osimhen, who has a good potential ahead of him. And the things that Napoli are not even willing to release the young man. But even Arsenal has also been mentioned. Manchester United has also been mentioned. Several clubs have also been mentioned in case of Osimhen. But it's left for who at the end of the day still have time before the end of the transfer season. But one thing I'm think is good likely going to happen that it is very pretty difficult to see Osimhen play in Napoli this season. Going by the way those rumors are flying every day.
Well, let's wait for who brings 120 million euros. But until then, he remains another player. Next to another story that we've been making the round since last weekend about the purported move of Ronaldo to Chelsea has emerged as a surprise destination. Of course, on Saturday we heard that he had actually asked that United sell him if they receive a suitable offer, but United have stated that he is not for sale. But we're hearing rumors that Chelsea might just be interested in having him on their books. Well, like I said, enough rumors circling all over the place.
Yeah, rumors everywhere. This is season.
Yeah.
But one thing is that Ronaldo crossed from Old Trafford to Stamford Bridge. Is always everybody who knows the tradition of Manchester United will know that it is pretty difficult for Man U.
Yeah.
If at all Man U want to sell Ronaldo, they will not be willing to sell him to Chelsea. Even when he was at the Juventus, even coming back to the Premier League, Man United has to do everything to ensure that they block him from going to the Man City to come back to the United. And now he's at United at the Trafford ground. To move from Trafford ground to Stamford Bridge, that would be pretty difficult for him to put that move through. But one thing is certain that Man U will be willing to keep, will have all the things to keep Ronaldo is another different thing. Because you're still a young man at 35. He's a young man have asked that he want to leave, and he wanted to play Champions League. But if I'm a Ronaldo show, I want to advise him. Is there anything that is still demanding, still required of you to play in the Champions League? You have seen it all at that level. You have about 4 Champions League trophies to your name. What else is left to play in the Champions League that you have not played? Why can't you just remain where you make your mark and remain where you are and be a leader of that team and lead the team to the next level?
Well, we'll see how that pans out. Although another transfer news that broke today was the news of Eriksen. The last couple of weeks, he had been dilly-dallying between staying at Brentford, but he has now come out to say that he prefers a move to United, and United are ready to give him a 3-year deal. Eriksen is just 30 years old, so they feel he should be a perfect replacement. As we heard, medicals were supposed to be on later on today, and that looks like it might just be the second signing of new coach Erik ten Hag. Now to our last story before we leave, where according to Luka Modric, he believes that Kylian Mbappe will regret not making the switch from PSG to Real Madrid one day in his career.
Well, Luka Modric, to him, Mbappe has his choice. He's adult enough to take a decision, and he feels that remaining in PSG is the best thing for him to do for now. But Luka Modric, I think Luka Modric is angry that the young man did not come to join them, because they were all looking towards to have him in their book. But unfortunately, the young man turned them down, and it's now said that, well, you are going to regret it. Well, that's how that one is going to be. Either he will regret about it, it's another different ballgame. But either he will regret or not regret it. But one that is certain that Mbappe has decided to remain in PSG.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. Well, for now, this is where we draw the curtain on today's edition of Sports Orbit. Don't forget, the Super Falcons will be in action in less than maybe an hour, 30 minutes from now. If you have the time, make out time, watch the Super Falcons. For those of us who can be in Morocco, we'll be supporting right here on our screen. Salihu, thank you for being in the studio with me once again.
Thank you.
All right, tomorrow will be another exciting and refreshing edition of Sports Orbit. Until then, my name is Afa Acho. Stay safe out there, and it's goodbye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.